Hi, everybody. My name is Blake Cabot. I am the owner of facepaint.com, and I'm here with Nadine Davidson and Hannah in front of us. And we are going to be showing you some great bling designs. I came across Nadine. She was on FABA TV, and you did Olga's thing as well, right? You did her seminar.
Yeah, I did the second online summit for face painters.
You were on that summit. So anyway, I was just excited about having a fellow Canadian. I was born in Canada, and we both say out together with real feeling. With that aside, thank you for joining us. And Nadine, take it away.
All right. Well, thanks, Blake, for having me, and welcome, everybody. I'm glad you guys are joining us. This is my model, Hannah. So today we're just going to be doing some bling designs. I make my own bling. I hand make them, and I use tulip fabric paint.
Nadine, can you move over a little? No one can actually see you.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. There you are.
Is that better?
That's much better.
All right. Yeah. So I make some of my own bling, and I do sell it on my Etsy shop as well. Called Nadine Streams. I don't have a whole lot of time to make orders and fill them, but once in a while you'll see some up there. But so yeah, we're just going to be doing some bling designs. If anybody has any questions, let me know. If my hand's getting in the way, let me know. I'll do my best. But yeah, I'm just going to get started.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so I'm just going to actually load a petal sponge here. I don't know if you can see.
Nope. Oh. Now that's a petal sponge, all right. I know what those look like.
I'm just going to make sure I'm zoomed in here. One sec. I'm just going to close this. I'll make sure I'm good and zoomed in here on Hannah's face. Is that good?
Yes, that's great.
All right. All right. So this first design, we're going to kind of do like a fairy. And I'm just loading up some yellow and a little bit of this bubblegum pink on the sponge. Okay. So close your eyes, Hannah. And I'm just going to put this over Hannah's eyes with the yellow in the corner of the eye.
Okay.
I'm just going to make kind of a butterfly wing.
And somebody's going to ask, Kirsten might ask, what face paint are you using?
So the pink is Superstar Bubblegum, I believe.
Okay.
Or here, I'll find out.
Because I always give them links and stuff.
Sorry, it's actually Superstar Cotton Candy Shimmer.
Okay.
And the yellow is DFX yellow.
Okay.
Okay. So just blending those nicely together like that. And then while that's wet, I'm just going to take a little bit of white holographic glitter and spritz that on. Like that. And I'm just going to reload my sponge a tiny bit here.
It's the candy shimmer?
Cotton Candy Shimmer.
Got it.
Okay. So coming up through the eyebrow here and towards the temple is where we're headed with this wing. Okay. Try to make sure it's even on both sides as much as possible. A little bit more glitter while that's still wet. Okay. And then I'm going to take this is a Marcella Bustamante long angled 3/4 inch brush.
Flat, or is that an angle? Oh, angle. You said angle.
It's an angled brush. And I have this, this is actually a Craze Pink Rose Dome split cake.
Okay.
And one thing I love about these dome split cakes is when you load them, they don't muddy up because the water kind of comes down into the edges here instead of muddying up the surface, which is great for if you ever get too much water on your split cake or on your brush. it helps it from muddying up those colors.
Yeah, I asked face painters on the Craze FX group what they would want and what they wanted differently, and that was one of the things. Hey, Zuri.
Yeah, so this is the first time I've used these and I really like them, like the domed ones. And so I'm loading the white on the tip of the angle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna just start at the tip here by her temple and come down like that, but only about halfway because I'm gonna actually do like a little half of a wing section here.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Interesting.
Okay. And the same shape I'm gonna do up here up at the top. And all of these lines, when you're coming down, are all coming in towards the center here, the focal point.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm constantly reloading just because I want to make sure that I've got that nice solid color. So I'm going to do another wing section here. Like that. And then another one, this one's going to just come around at the base of her eye, like kind of almost as if you're coming down into like eyeliner.
Wow.
Like that. Okay. I'm just going to brighten this up a bit here. Like that.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll even do like a little bit in the corner here. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to reload again. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so starting here, coming down like that. Smaller wing piece here. Longest wing section at the top.
Uh-huh.
Smaller one there. And then coming down and around. Like that.
At least what interests me is that this is obviously a form of butterfly wing, and you're doing it over the eyelid instead of around the eye, which normally is the way I've seen it. But cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fairy. We're not going to actually do butterfly wings on the bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think what I might even just do is take the pink on the base of the sponge here and just kind of add a little bit of pink to her cheek. Like that.
Uh-huh.
And we can even do the same thing up here, just to add a little bit of color. Just add a tiny bit of glitter.
Hi, Elaine.
Okay. So now I'm actually just going to outline this. And I'm going to use this is a Paint Pal Swirl number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I like these brushes because they have a super pointy tip. So you can really get that nice, like, thick to thin lines. And I'm going to use Global Strong Black to outline it. Okay. And I usually just test it on my hand, make sure it's not too wet. Okay, and we're going to just start by outlining this little portion here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see that. That okay? It's really dry in Calgary too, so I find I really do have to reload my brushes a lot.
Yeah. It's dry in Calgary?
Yes, very.
Yeah, that's right. I was thinking that for some reason you were in BC.
No. I grew up in BC, but I was born in Calgary, but I grew up in BC and then I moved back here. So just outlining each portion of these little wing portions like this. Okay, kind of thick to thin.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then this one, I'm actually going to bring kind of a little swirl from the outside edge of her eye here.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I might just connect an extra line here.
Elaine loves your work. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Elaine loves your work, Nadine.
Thank you. I love yours too.
She does good stuff.
So I'm just going to add a few little details. I'm going to kind of come in here.
So if you're going to add a lot of bling to a design, how does it change your design?
Well, you'll see at the end. Sure. I think it really adds a lot of character, and it really adds to the whole design. Like you can really do some simple designs, and if you add a really cool bling piece, it can really make it wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm also going to line her eyes. I would skip this if it was a really young child. Like if it was a toddler, like a 3 or 4-year-old, I'd probably skip this step. Mm-hmm. But I usually like to do eyeliner, especially on the older girls. And Hannah's going to keep her eye closed while that dries, because you don't want that to transfer up to the top of her eyelid. Keep her eyes nice and closed. And then we'll do the other side. So same thing on the other side, chin down a little bit, Steve. I don't know if you can see this.
Not so much.
Sorry.
But we kind of know where you're going.
I feel like if I do it straight on, I'm really it's not gonna be symmetrical at all, but I will do my best.
Ah, someone from Holland. Heel mooi en komme van Holland. I think it means I'm from Holland or something. Great. I'm sorry, I don't speak Dutch.
Me neither. Even though I do have Dutch in my blood.
As do I. Which we were discussing earlier. Yeah. Sadly, the poll, no one's got a gig except for, so at least right now until December. Hi, Patty. Oh.
Yeah, I booked my first party. It's this weekend.
And you're gonna have to use social distancing and everything?
Actually, I'm gonna be wearing a face shield.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be using only one brush per child.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of one brush, one sponge per child, and kind of making sure I sanitize my hands in between each child and that kind of thing. Look at Hannah. I just want to see how. Okay, I'm just going to do her other eyeliner here.
Okay.
This has turned out to be a little thicker than I like, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens.
Patty's booked next weekend. There you go. A few people are.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to do next is just a few little dots. And when you load your brush for dots, you want to make sure you have like a nice pool of little blob of paint on the tip of your brush. So on this side. Just from large to small dots coming up.
Mm-hmm. Give it those accents they talk about.
Answer. Like that. Okay. And so I have a bling that I pre-made here.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's actually made with tulip fabric paint, dimensional fabric paint.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that.
Dimensional what paint?
Tulip dimensional fabric paint.
Okay. Tulip dimensional.
So if you go on my Instagram or my Facebook, I'll have like lots of little videos and tips on how to make bling.
Okay.
So that's Nadine's Dreams face painting. Nadine's Dreams on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, I will put links to that and to dimensional fabric paint.
So the tulip ones, I have to actually add glue to the back. And what I use is I just use an eyelash adhesive.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Quo. I think you can only get this in Canada. But you could use any kind of like gem or Crozade or anything like that. And then you just want to make sure it's kind of gets tacky.
Uh-huh.
Something that matches. Okay. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Someone
else uses somebody does tulip paints as well. Some other people use mastics.
Okay. Mastics, to glue them on?
Maybe to create the glue, I think, or create the gems.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay. And then because I use the tulip fabric paint to make these ones. And then I also will use double-sided medical tape.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you one of those in the next design.
Okay.
And so once this is on, I'm also just going to add a few little dots around here. Like
Elsie
that.
thinks that looks pretty.
Ah, thanks. Okay, and now the last thing I'll just do is Hannah's lips. So I'm gonna do just a pink lip on Hannah. And I never use brushes on lips. I always use like a makeup applicator that's disposable, and then I can just toss it when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just add a little glitter to the bottom lip. Like that. And that's our first design.
Okay, nice. So what's interesting about it, so what kind of designs do you use bling on? You're obviously using a fairy here. What other kind of designs do you use it on?
I use them on butterflies, anything like this. I'm going to show you a couple other designs that obviously I use bling on.
Okay, great.
You can use them for unicorns. When I go to a party, I usually have a photo gallery on an iPad. And on that photo gallery, I'll have some designs with bling and some without.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way the kids can choose, different options with or without bling. So, but yeah, it does take a little bit longer. Like it has an added amount of time to do the bling, especially if you're adding the glue and everything. But but the medical tape ones are a lot faster. So.
And do you charge more when you use bling on a party?
No, I just work it into my price.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I just tell them like that in that price is included with full faces with bling and yeah.
Okay, great.
I just don't usually recommend it if it's over, if it's like 15 or more kids, I would never really recommend using bling because it just takes that much longer. And it's a lot of bling too, right? So unless they really wanted it, then, I probably would do it if they really wanted it and asked for it, but it would just take extra long, right? So yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Fantastic. Everybody loves it.
Right. Okay,
The design is really pretty.
I'll get my daughter Kenzie up here next.
Okay. And just so you're aware of the time, it is 6:22.
All right, come up and
And while you're switching people, hi, Kinsey. I'll just let you know about what the upcoming webinars are.
Okay.
So we've got next week, we have Girl Heroes with Linnea Overby, Novak. And then Wendy La Belga is doing wavy teardrop masks. So from Belgium.
Nice.
And then Patty is doing eye designs on July 6th. So we got a list coming up.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so for this next design, I'm just loading up. This is a homemade split cake. I just made this myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just loading the bottom of the petal sponge with just the green, the white, the green, and the yellow.
Graffiti arms, interesting.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna wipe my hands a bit here. Sorry. Black all over my hands. I think I get most of the paint on my hands more than the kids' faces sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's got to go somewhere.
All right, so I'm just gonna take the sponge so that the white's on the inside corner of Kenzie's eye. Same thing on this side. Just gonna clean this up a little bit here. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of glitter while that's wet. And I'm gonna do kind of a rose design, like a rose princess.
Mm-hmm. Olga loved your split cake, by the way. What was it all? Superstar?
What's that?
That was all Superstar?
I think it's a mix, honestly.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I probably should start writing them down. But I do use a lot of Superstar in the splits because I like the shimmer, like the soft shimmer colors. So, okay, and I'm also going to use this PBA stencil. It's kind of like a pretty little pattern on it. And I'm just loading a little finger dauber with green.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do this right in the center. I'm going to be putting a bling piece here, so I'm going to be covering this. So I just kind of want to make sure this is a bit lower.
Mm-hmm.
I want mostly this top part of it, the design. Make sure you hold the stencil really nice and steady, otherwise.
So PBA stencils are from what, the UK, or where are they from?
They're from Europe.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We don't sell them, so here's the link, Sarah.
So what I did there was I just dabbed a little bit of glitter on the tip of this. And then added it while the stencil was still on.
Ah, That's a good idea.
And that's like that's a teal Mama Clown glitter.
Okay.
It's called Aqua Ocean.
Aqua Ocean.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to use another blazon brush, but this one's a flat brush. This is a 3/4 inch flat. And this is what I'm going to create my roses with. And this is another Craze dome split cake called Orchid.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so for roses, you always want the white on the outside when you're doing roses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna load this. Load this up really well. And we're gonna create some roses here. So in the photo, in your ad photo, I did pink roses. So this one I'm switching it up a little and I'm doing some purple ones.
Okay.
I'm keeping these roses pretty simple. So I'm gonna start with just doing this kind of a petal shape like this. Okay. One on each side. Like that. Okay, and then another smaller one next, or just out, further out, above the eyebrow here. On both sides, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Close your eyes, honey. And I'm just gonna do a small one here. And on this side. Okay. Now I'm gonna load the brush again. And while I'm loading the brush, this is gonna be drying, and you always want your first coat of paint to be dry before you add the second layer for roses. And it's pretty warm in here. That looks pretty dry already. Okay, and then we're gonna actually kind of, sorry.
Yeah, no, interesting. Okay.
Okay, and we're gonna close these up by making kind of a cylinder shape. Like that.
Uh-huh. Okay. So like a tulip. I've seen tulips done like that.
Yeah, they're kind of more like a large rosebud.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
And then same thing on these ones.
Dear Lord.
Like that. Okay. And then we're just going to add some little petals to the outsides of these. Swivel your brush when you're doing these.
Mm-hmm.
So that you're coming in and around like that. Okay. Like that. And then I'm going to add some little leaves to the sides of these rosebuds.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to use that same green, which is, it's called Superstar Flash Green, that I used on the stencil. And I'm going to use that for these little leaves. Okay, so kind of just flicking it out like this. Like super simple. And then basically, I'm just gonna do her eyeliner as well. I'm gonna use a slightly darker green for her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
This is like Global Deep Green.
Okay.
Just on a number 3 round brush.
Patty thinks this is a beautiful design.
Thank you. Okay, and I think I'm not going to do too much line work on this. I'm just going to add some, mostly just a few little white dots. This is DFX white.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a Lux Swirl number 5 round brush, paint pal.
Okay.
And I'm just going to load this up really well and do a few little dots. Because this is meant to be fairly quick. So that. And then open your eyes, honey. Okay. Just a few little dots under there. Keep your eyes up.
So how often do you torture your daughter with face painting?
Too much in her eyes, I think. But she's a good sport. She lets me paint her far too often, I think. More often than she'd like.
I face painted my youngest boy probably 10 years ago. He's now 16 and absolutely would not do it now. But it was just great fun. And the most common reaction, and I think the video has been seen like 200,000 times, because this is back when you could do a YouTube video and it would get traction, because not a lot of people were doing it back then.
Yeah.
And the most common reaction to the faith thing is why are you torturing this child? And does social services know your address?
Yeah. No kidding.
This is really interesting color combination. I think Cheryl's right. I think probably we should talk about that. So how did you, I mean, the greens and the purples aren't a normal, I don't see that a lot.
Well, I think the first design I did was in pink, and I just wanted to try it with purple.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think in nature, I mean, you have green and lots of color when it comes to flowers. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay.
So I wanted to try a purple one.
Yep, that makes sense.
And then this one, we're going to use a purple bling.
Okay.
So this one is the medical tape. It just peels off on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sticky.
Okay.
And that's just going to go right there. Like that. And there, that's pretty basic. I mean, you could, if you had lots of extra time, you could definitely outline it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could be in a really deep green, you could outline everything and kind of make it more like pop a little bit. But I kind of like it just like the way it is. So yeah, that's Kenzie's.
Yeah, you're right, Patty.
All right, Hannah's back up. I'm torturing children even more. You did good. That's okay. I'm going to reline your eyes probably again anyway. All right. So.
Question came in from Lucy. She said, do you put glitter on the sticky side of the medical tape that is not on the skin?
I do.
Okay.
So when I make the medical tape bling, I brush a little bit of holographic, or just like like a holographic white glitter.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of dust it over with a little brush, just to fill in any sticky spots so that there's no dust or anything, or hair or anything that gets stuck to it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So this next design is a little bit different. It's kind of not really like a butterfly or anything like that. It's just sort of kind of a fun design. I find like teens really like this. And it's kind of fast and simple as well.
It's hits on all cylinders.
Yeah. Okay. So taking a petal sponge again. And I'm going to use some Superstar Glitter White.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do some blues.
Ooh, actually, Nadine, we have, we were talking about doing some corporate Christmas designs, but someone said we should have a webinar teaching about making bling clusters.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Okay, let's do that. And it won't be till November. I'm kind of booked up. So, but in November, we'll do making bling clusters.
Yeah, I can even show you some Christmas bling too.
Ooh, Christmas bling clusters.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Hi, Brenda.
All right. So I've got some Superstar Glitter White, and I've got a little bit of the Ziva Blue Superstar, and also a tiny bit of the, what is this? The Snow Petrol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're just going to get over her eyes. And I'm going to kind of bring it up. And blend it a little bit here by the temple. Like that. And then on the other side. Okay, blend it really nicely here.
And this is the straight petrol blue. It's not the shimmer one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And a little bit of Ziva blue in there as well.
Okay. Ziva blue. Okay.
Yeah. Try to make that as even as possible. Like this. Like that. And then we're also going to do, just going to do a little bit in the middle here as well.
Okay.
Not too much, just kind of like a light little bit here. And maybe even just a tiny bit here. Just on the cheekbone. Okay. And that Superstar White Glitter White has already got the glitter in it, so I think it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really need to poof on any extra glitter. Poor Hannah. She's like probably already trying to get all this glitter off of her face. Okay, and then we're just going to do some line work to this, like super simple. I'm going to use, actually, you know what I think I'm going to do for, I think I'm going to place my bling first. So I've got another tulip fabric paint piece of bling here. I already added glue to this, so I think it's kind of sticky. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Okay. So I kind of want to put this like right about there. Okay.
Wow, that looks great.
I like these bold black ones.
Let's see.
Okay, and then I'm just going to use this is a Paint Pal Luxe Swirl number 4 brush. And I'm just going to load that with Global Strong Black. Lucy says Ziva Blue, one of the things she likes about it is it just doesn't stain. Yeah, I love it. I love that these paints don't stain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of my favorite superstar greens is the golden green shimmer as well. That one's great. Okay, so we're just going to do some line work around the eyes here. This way, just a little bit more Hannah. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Kind of just a long teardrop here.
And that's black, or you said golden?
No, this is just full, global strong black.
Okay, global strong black. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to kind of bring it around and do just this little kind of a swirly trail there, just lightly. Kind of coming towards the bling here. And then we're just going to keep doing some teardrops coming around. I'm going to make this one a little bit pointy. Like that. And then look up, kind of like open your eyes. I'm just going to do a couple small.
It's lovely.
I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Sorry, my hand's probably in the way there.
A little bit.
It's hard to do it without getting your hand right in front of the camera. With some reverse teardrops coming around. Look up again, just okay, like that. I might even kind of bring these down a little bit here. Just a little bit of a point.
Ooh, I don't know why your video went off.
Oh, it went off.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, one moment.
Yeah. Now we're back.
Sorry about that. I put it on Do Not Disturb. I don't know why it's.
It just,
I think someone was trying to call me.
really? That's what did it? Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I need
Sorry
to turn
about that.
me off because okay, that's good.
Is that okay?
Kind of. I've got other problems, but I think it's me more than you. Okay,
It kind of looked like somebody was trying to call me, but I'm not really sure what happened there. But I did put it on Do Not Disturb, so
okay.
I don't know.
I think it's fixed now. Sorry about that, everybody. They were just seeing a black picture with my name on it.
I'm so sorry.
It was just an oddball.
Okay. I'm just kind of making these a little bit pointed.
Uh-huh.
Kind of make it a little edgy. Okay, and then just on the top of this bling, I'm going to do like a little half circle around her.
Mm-hmm.
Let me turn this. Sorry. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then just some reverse teardrops coming out. And then I'm just going to kind of connect this with little dots. Like that. A few little dots down here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then some lips. And I'll probably just do that same petrol blue on her lips.
Mm-hmm.
That nice dark kind of steel blue.
Rowena thinks that's stunning.
Thanks, guys.
Lucy says,
And
wow.
a little dab of glitter on that bottom lip. And that's kind of like a nice simple bling design, but it's kind of got a wow factor, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great design. And I like the lines above it. I think that's a very nice touch.
I would probably line her eyes, but I don't want to torture Hannah anymore. She'll be walking around with black eyes all day.
Yeah, there's that danger.
But yeah, I could definitely, you could line her eyes, make it a little bit more dramatic too. But yeah, that's kind of one of my other really popular like birthday party bling designs.
That's fantastic. That's a great design.
And I don't know how much time we have. Do we have time for another like quick design, or what do you?
We have 12 minutes.
Can we knock something out in 12 minutes? Probably. Something quick, honey?
That's the spirit.
Come on, Kenzie. All right. Thanks again, Hannah. Okay, Kenzie, come on up here, sweetie.
You need to finish this because she's shorter than me. You can really see her lips.
Oh, okay.
See her
Check the camera here. Thanks, Hannah. Kenzie's a little bit shorter than Hannah, so we're just going to adjust this a bit.
Okay.
Is that good?
Jacqueline says that's Jacqueline House says that's beautiful bling.
Thank you. Okay, I think we'll do something super quick here, maybe. All right, let's see. What have I got? No, we'll use another. I do have another Craze Unicorn Dream split cake. We'll do something quick with this.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of this Superstar Glitter White and a tiny bit of Superstar Shimmer Blue, just a lighter blue. Close your eyes here. I'm just going to match this with that split cake. We'll just do like a quick little princess design.
Mm-hmm.
That. Maybe I definitely tend to do the same things over. I usually just base color the eyelids, this area here, and then I'll typically just do the one stroke around all of this. All right. Look up there, honey.
Hola, Capi.
Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of glitter to that.
You don't get enough compliments for models. So Claire said the designs are beautiful and the models are so pretty.
Aw, thanks. So I'm going to use a pretty thick brush here. This is a global flat. It's supposed to be a 1 inch, but it's a really big 1 inch brush.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nice because with some of the one strokes, then you can really get all of the colors with these nice big fat brushes. So we'll just load this up.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just do like a pretty, kind of like a, it's kind of dry. I'm just gonna add a little bit more water to my brush. That is one thing about this brush too. I feel like it really soaks up the paint more.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to add a little bit more water. Let's try that. Coming around the eye.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, Patty. The one stroke does look amazing.
Yep, this is that crazy unicorn. It's great.
Do we sell bling? We do sell bling. Here are some bling clusters that we have on facepaint.com.
Just gonna do a little bit of pink on our cheeks. This is that cotton candy pink again.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just do some like simple white line work on this. And I'll just use this GFX white. And this is a Paint Pal Luxe Swirl number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to add some line work to this. Just kind of following these one stroke line work, or one stroke like that.
What number is that 1 inch brush? I think was a question.
Oh, that fat global one.
Yeah, that fat global one.
It just says flat 1 inch.
There we go. Flat 1 inch. There we go.
And then some simple lines.
Since we don't carry it, Face Paint Shop does though.
Yeah, I've had that one for quite a while. I honestly don't even remember where I got that one. A few little line work, teardrops here.
Mm-hmm.
A few little dots.
Oh, well, what brand was the white that we were using?
This is GFX white.
GFX white. Okay.
And then we'll just add a really pretty princess bling to this. This is another medical tape bling. Like that. Pretty simple. But the little girls love these designs. And a little bit of magenta on the lips.
Let me create a, Lucio, let me answer that question. I'll send that to my purchasing person and I'll ask her when we're going to get that stuff in.
Yeah. How much time do we have left, Blake?
Take your time. We got 3 minutes.
Okay, maybe I'll add some eyeliner and torture her.
There you go.
Poor Kenzie. And I'll probably do like purple. Something to match. Close your eyes.
Everybody thinks it's a very pretty design.
Thank you. Kind of like a good go-to princess design. You can even go in and add a little bit more of this purple in here. Like that. Just little hints of it here and there. All right, there you go. Pretty unicorn.
There you go. Okay, well, that is fantastic. Nicely done. Thank you very much, Kinsey, for your time and your effort and putting up with your mom. Again, we got a couple webinars coming up. We have, thank you very much, Nadine, for doing all this. That was
Thank you
great.
for having me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We could almost see you there. Move it a little bit more.
Kind of.
There you go. It was a lot of fun having you. Great to have you here for the first time. So we'll obviously have you back again. So I'm looking forward to that. And we'll get some Bling clusters on November 23rd.
Awesome.
We'll get Linnea's going to be doing some work next week on Girl Heroes. And we're going to have Wavy Teardrops Mask with Wendy La Belga from Belgium, which is appropriately named. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. Have a good evening and take care.
Thanks, Blake.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah.